So we have a fresh best of 3. We're in the semifinals and we're jumping in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn. We have representing Team Little Fairy, the Blue Protoss, Shameless. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Terran player representing Platinum Esports. It is Vindicta. Ah! Never mind. Shout out to Little Mac. I thought you were gonna keep going. I thought you were gonna keep going, Papi. Oh god, it's oh good. Shaking my head as we are getting into our TVP, into our semifinals. We do have our rack expand being set up here by Vindicta. Likewise, Shameless going for the gate cyber expand as well. Standard setups. They were waiting for quite some time, but we are jumping in. We're jumping into our series here. Here we go. As we do have Vindicta going for a more economic standard opener, scouting across the map. Whew, and I do need a moment to recalibrate. After that TVT, I need to calm down, Papi. I need to calm down. Oh, good. Shout out to Little Mac. Shout out. I'm going to tell my grandchildren about this game. Not like in I was there kind of way, but this is the source of my trauma. Oh no. Not like this. What a night of games. But now we're calming down, we're settling in. Oh, and we have our predictions. We have our predictions going. Oh, as we can again just take a moment to breathe after that last series. we can breathe, Papi. We can breathe. CC on low ground here for Vindicta. Safety bunker as well. Everything looking as it should. Likewise, Shameless going for a Twilight Council opener back at home. It's going to be Twilight Council from Shameless. Should be for Blink. We shouldn't be doing anything too crazy, not rushing into anything like charge or DTs, I would imagine. As the Shade is threatened. Migs did skip the SCV Scout, skip the initial Reaper as well. So Migs is in the dark. But it's going to calm down and settle in. So we have our 1-1-1 setup here from Vindicta. From here we can head towards some drop play. Widowmine's on the way, potentially medevacs into drops. As the Hellion does slip by, the Hellion and the Reaper. Migs just now coming in for the Scout, and we'll get eyes on the opener of choice on Blink. Blink is being researched. Migs will confirm. 1 gateway in the main, 2nd gateway here on the low ground, so 2-gate Blink for the time being. Hellion going for some probe kills and can maybe get 1 probe, but shouldn't get much more than that. Could get a 2nd. Not bad. 2nd probe does go down. 2 probes do fall. Getting eyes on the 3rd. Again, economic opener out of Shameless. 2-gate Blink into a 3rd. Here we go. So we're going to be able to ease our way in towards the mid-game. Nothing too crazy, nothing too aggressive here from Shameless. Likewise, Migs now moving up with this drop. Not the most committed drop. It's only 1 Widowmine just for scouting. Just to get across the map and get a read on what exactly is going on. Migs has confirmed the 3rd base, so more or less it should feel pretty safe. Should feel secure. 3rd base does signify that Shameless is going for something more economic. And Migs back at home can start working to transition out of the factory units to Marines, Marauders. Early Liberator though, interesting. Okay. Migs going for the lib. Orgullo. Live VIP was messaging my mom. Oh no. Not like this. The truth is out. And yeah, with this Liberator, we're going to be committing. We're going to be committing with a 2-base push. Vindicta, he is spotted by the Observer. Shameless is aware. Getting ready. Drop towards the natural. Ooh, is denied. Shameless does keep up. Shuts down the Hellion. Hellion is shut down, and so far Shameless doing a great job at just speaking away the army. Shield batteries on the way, almost done. And Migs, he wants it. Does siege up. But clean moves here from Shameless, does avoid the shots. You know, at the same time, mind dropping towards the natural. Shameless does respond, does pull away, does defend. Very impressive. Despite that, losing 4 probes in the main, though, the Liberator popping off. Migs with the tri-pronged attack. Drop into the natural, live in the main. Damage is done. Migs also pulls away, saves all the tanks. Is spotted by Shameless. Behind this third CC's on the way. Migs building up towards the mid game. Back by Shameless working on his Colossus. Here we go. Calming down. I'm still thinking about the last game. Like, part of me is still trapped in Golden Aura. Part of me still hasn't finished the TvT. It's still going. It won't stop. Observer gets scouted. Is shut down. Also, apparently, I think Little Mac is going live again. I believe Sort of series is going to occur at the same time, Sort of versus Whole Mono. So do check out Little Mac's channel. I believe he should be going live once again. It's got you covered. As Mings is getting ready with his drop, he still has that one Liberator in between the main base and the third. Liberator towards the natural. Trying to scout, get some economic damage. Mind drop comes in. Up! Does borrow. Ooh, catching 2 probes. 2 probes go down. Oh, the retargeting! Doesn't quite get the Stalker. Once again, Shameless does avoid the mine shots. We'll clean up. As Migs has been building up back at home. Tanks, Marines, Marauders getting ready for our 3-base push. Until then, though, Shameless has been able to keep up and to maintain himself. 3 Colossus now on the way. Getting up to triple Colossus, then Disruptors thereafter. Shameless is holding his own. Just surviving the aggression. Not really applying much of his own. Vindicta has been left alone this entire time, despite getting ready for aggression himself. Bunkers, Widow Mines. Hallucination will scout, will confirm. Ghost Academy's on the way. Migs most likely won't move out without Ghosts. As Migs, he's walling up. He's just walling up and getting ready to receive. He's preparing himself. Meanwhile, Shameless doesn't give it to him. Staying back, getting a 4th. And Disruptor production has begun. 2nd Robo on the way as well. Both players just building up. Are just going to be building up. Vindicta is on the hunt, marauding around, trying to find any stray units. Looking for the Observer. It's a little bit too much further to the right, though. Barely out of vision, out of range. Unfortunate. Thinks he's lucky. That goes down. Again, the Observer does tell Shameless everything he needs to know. Liberator's on the way, Ghost as well. This entire time, Migs is now maxing out, so is Shameless. Both players have maxed. And soon, they're about to clash. It's mainly a Zealot-based composition, but that is 4 Disruptors here for Shameless. That's a lot of Novas, a lot of Disruptors. The rocks are being knocked down. Shameless rotating. Vindicta moving out. And the armies, they do actually pass by each other. Migs racing back home. Shameless going for the third. Does get her in time. The tanks late to siege. Migs getting ready. Does set up. Never goes off. Oh! Good connections. Shameless looking for another way in. He's going to rotate around. Dark Shrine is done. Third Robo finishing up as well. Liberator does catch 4 probes, not bad. Lib is getting damage. But still such a tense moment here. Oh, the Novas. Oh, not quite. Makes his sims in, catches 1 disruptor. Gets 1, gets 2. Gets 3. 2 disruptors left. Ooh, big connection though. The Novas, they do pop off. But does Migs have enough? Collapsing the main army, and there's no way out of this. And Colossus are going down, and Migs, he shuts us down. He will clean up. 1 more Nova going off. No connection. It's still so close, but the Vikings, they land on top of the army. And Shameless will lose everything. Gets 12 SCVs, but loses Disruptors. Colossus has 3 Robos up and running. Can rebuild very quickly. Disruptors are on the way. But Vindicta, it's time to counterattack. It's time to move out. Big warp in. Shameless warping in purely Zealots. The supplies are similar, but the quality of the army, not quite there. I mean, Zealots can be terrifying, true. They can be terrifying. Disruptors slowly amassing. Shameless building back up. Tank boys going off. The tanks are exposed. 3 tanks. That's big. 3 tanks going down. Vindicta out of position. Greens are coming in. Trying to get back into tanks. 3 libs on the way. Shameless once again threatening that third. Had a good start. But things will change once the Liberators arrive. Sensor Tower is shut down. The Novas! Oh my god. No connection. Oh. Catching out the Marines. Marines are caught out. Liberator rotating. Back up to 5 disruptors. But the freedom is here. We have liberation. The level! Oh my god, last second split. Up! Decent connections. Decent connections nonetheless. But again, there's no good answer for these liberators. Shameless taking a lot of shots there. Behind this, more bases on the way. Getting back into Colossus. To take extra gases. Disruptors have to calm down. I spotted. So once again, another tank is exposed. Another tank goes down. Not a bad pickoff. Shameless still rotating over towards that third. Liberators are exposed. 1 lib goes down. 2nd lib as well. Yeah, Vindicta having a hard time keeping up with these rotations. Oh my god, massive connection! Makes having a harder time, was focusing on that Liberator. Crossing across the map, getting 6 probes. Shameless pulling away. That is shame, true. DTs in the main. DTs did slip in, but more Liberators have arrived. Vindicta, he's holding. Does hold on. Deflects the main army, cleans up the DTs. But Shameless, he rotates towards the south, away from the libs. Going for the planetary. Doesn't quite break in. Migs, he's holding on. Vindicta, he's holding. Shameless once again still heavily reliant on these zealots. Decent mine connections. Up! Oh my god. Now they're catching one Marauder. And Vindicta, he comes in for the surround. Does collapse in, but the Novas, ooh, they punish. Big connections on the right-hand side. One Colossus goes down. Going for the second. Is going to get it. The Vikings, they will barely catch that final Colossus. Disruptor as well rallies in. And Migs, he's shutting this down. Gets two, gets three Disruptors. Barely doesn't have enough. At the same time, 16 probes falling as well. Oh my god. The lips, I assume. Yeah, Liberators across the map. And just like that, Shameless, he plummets in supply. Still making 3 Disruptors at a time. But is having a hard time keeping up. Liberator's moving out once again. The non-stop Liberator harass out of Migs. He's popping off. Libs are moving out. And Vindicta, he's just outscaling Shameless, maxing out once again with a more ideal army. Liberators, Ghosts, Marauders, Vikings, anything and everything. Shameless falling back on mainly Blink Stalker. Gets a Ghost. We'll clean this up. Oh my god, the punish though. Things have to pull away. Zealous running into the main army. It's brutal. And Mage's taking it slow, taking down another expansion. Planetary. Planet Nexus is gonna fall. Planetary under fire. Shameless gonna be committing. The Nova goes off. The splits though. Mix, calm down. Does put away, catching more Disruptors. Yeah, 2, 3, 4 Disruptors going down. Massive pickoffs. That's all that we had left. Shameless, he plummets in supply once again. Going for a Desperation DT counterattack. Will drag Migs back home. Does turn the entire army back around. The DTs are buying a lot of time. But Shameless needs even more time. He is down to purely a gateway composition. A gateway army. He has 1 Disruptor. That's all he has. 1 Disruptor left. Can barely maintain himself. He's well upgraded with 3-3, but yeah, these trades have been brutal. Makes he's waiting to build up before moving out. More bases on the way. Shameless is slowly recovering. Being cheeky with the Disruptor. Never goes off. Like, there is a chance. Definitely here for Shameless. If he can pop off with these Disruptors. If he can land 1, 2, 3 good Novas. Can take a fight. Catching out a medevac. EVs go up. At the same time, Migs pushing on the right-hand side. Does spot the DTs. Pushing in. This is not a planetary, but there's a lib. Nexus is going to go down. Shameless going for the base trade. Going right down mid. Going for the main. Going for the production. Mine shots going off. Migs coming in from behind. Catching another Disruptor. Down to 3. Down to 2. Two Disruptors left. Down to 1. And barely anything remaining here for Shameless. This was his army. And Migs will catch him out. At the same time, Zealot run into a planetary. No damage being dealt. Zealot do nothing. Observer does fall. And that was 22 SCVs going, sorry, 22 probes going down. Shameless, he barely has an economy left. He's barely standing. GG gets called with that final fight, and Vindicta will take game number 1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Migs playing a much more defensive style. For the most part, Migs didn't really move out with his main army. He was harassing, don't get me wrong. He was harassing with Liberators, harassing with some mine drops early on as well. He was doing some counter damage across the map, but for the most part, he was focusing on defending, on absorbing these blows back and forth at the third base, at the fourth base as well, waiting for the disruptors, waiting for Shameless to push into him. At times, Shameless was catching him out, catching tanks, catching Liberators, but for the main big fights, we did see that Migs was ready. Let's go. Here we go. And now we're jumping into our next game, into game number 2. But yeah, a shout out to Little Mac. Little Mac was actually about to go to bed. He is also casting on his channel, which is why he raided earlier. And we were hoping that maybe Little Mac could cover the other semis at the same time, just so the players didn't have to stay up too long. So shout out to Little Mac as he has gone live once again, and he's covering Sword of versus Hon Mono. Much love, much love. As we are jumping into game 2. Jumping into game number 2 on Ghost River. Let's go. That a shame? No shame. PvTs never stop. Never, never. Living rent-free in the brain. And here we go. We're getting into our next game and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River. We have our Blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. Can he bounce back and force the ace match? It is Shameless. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the American Terran player, the Red Terran representing Platinum Esports. It is Vindicta. We go. We have our TVP. We have our game 2. Migs again, just taking a more defensive role last game, able to go blow to blow, blow for blow with Shameless. Keeping up, taking better trades, shutting down the disruptors, the Colossus, before eventually counterattacking. And we'll see how Shameless has approached this, how he does approach Migs this time, how he does adjust, how he does adapt. As Shameless was hyper aggressive and Migs wanted him to be aggressive, wanted him to push in. He gave Migs what he wanted. He's Shameless. Let's go. Shameless will come with the probe scouts, getting eyes on the opener. Again, single gas opener out of Vindicta, going for a Rax expand, economic start from Migs. Meanwhile, Shameless back at home, going for a gate expand, a gate cyber expand. Standard opener as well. This game is going to be 3 to 5 business days. Crazy, crazy. From here, the game will settle. Talking about the map a little bit here, of course, we are loading into Ghost River, a very small map, short rush distance by ground as well. Because of that, this could go one of two ways. One, aggression can be favored, especially early on with things like 2-base all-ins. Speaking of, that is a second Rax from Migs, so we'll touch base on that later. But 2-base all-ins and 2-base aggression can hit real hard, real quick. Otherwise, if you avoid the earlier timings, then the game can stabilize and slow down a lot, just because of the choke points. Like pushing up this ramp here, pushing up these ramps towards the south can be very difficult. So as the game progresses, you can cut the map in half and go for a longer late game. For now, though, 3 racks. We have 3 racks from Vindicta, hyper aggression here from Migs, working towards a stim timing for a stim move out. So Migs will have an abundance of Marines, Marauders, and stim to work with. Meanwhile, Shameless has to piece it together as he's going for a Twilight Council opener, which makes sense. Safe opener out of Shameless. We saw last game, Shameless went for 2-gate blink into a third. This time, I'm hoping 3-gate blink. Something a little bit safer for Shameless. As the Adept does escape, getting a Marine, getting an SCV, not bad. The Adept is 1 shot away from going down. We'll go for another Shade. Shouldn't commit. Because shell on the way. Migs hasn't actually scouted his opponent, but is going into early Marauders, which is going to be good against a Twilight Council. Again, the chances of this being a Stargate opener is quite low. Stargate play is not really seen too often, specifically on this map, because of how small it is. It is more often seen on larger maps like Site Delta or Alcione. Or Golden Aura. As the Marauders are building up. Now, when it comes to this eventual move out, it is going to be quite crisp as well. Because there are no medevacs, every stim counts. Every stim does count, does hurt. Adept gets caught. And Vindicta is moving out. Massing up Marines, Marauders. Getting ready for his push. Shameless behind this. Getting into 2 extra gateways. Yep, 4-gate blink. Uh-oh. 4-gate blink Stalkers. There's going to be a lot of Stalkers to work with. Going to be able to warp in 4 at a time. Migs will commit up the ramp. Does catch one of these Stalkers. One Stalker goes down. Stim is actually not done yet. Oh my god. Catching an Adept. Meanwhile, Shameless, he responds with 2 shield batteries. With the shield battery at backup pylon. Responds quite hard. Blink is now done. Makes he falls back to his Marauders. Stim not yet complete. Nice blinks here out of Shameless, and Migs is gonna have to back off. He will catch one Stalker though. One Stalker goes down. Behind this, Migs is transitioning. Factory's on the way. And Shameless, now it's time for him to move out across the map. He's going for a big counterattack. And Vindicta is going to be in trouble here, trying to catch out the Stalkers. Stalkers, instead, they find the Marauders. They get 1, they get 2. 2 Marauders go down. Army stepping in, coming in for the surround. The Prism. Prism goes down, and a massive catch. Oh my god. Vindicta. The surround. The Stalkers. It's a one-way trip. Massive pick up here. The Prism and the Stalkers. Forced to recall. One Stalker will survive to live to tell the tale. Does live. But that was a massive loss for Shameless. And Migs, he can keep going. He can keep pushing. Shameless trying to slow down the army. Getting a 3rd base behind this. Down to how many Stalkers? 7. 7 Stalkers and nothing else. No Immortal. No Bay, no Colossus. Vindicta has potential. Again, he's holding onto that stim. Doesn't want to waste it. Catching a Stalker. A delicate control. Oh my god. Migs! Saving the Marauders. I mean, this army is still so battered, so bruised. 3rd CC on location. Where are the medevacs? They're coming. Yeah, there's the reactor. Ooh, a bit of a supply block. But there we go. Medevacs are now on the way. Until then, though. Until then, Shameless moving out. Forcing a stim. Losing one of the Stalkers. 2nd Stalker as well. We'll clean up this initial force. We're catching another Stalker. That was 4 Stalkers for 4 Marauders. Observer gets spotted. Migs does hold. And the medevacs have arrived. Finally, this bio army can get a breather. Can be topped up. He's okay. He's okay, man. Shameless back at home, stabilizing as well, working towards charge, a very gateway-centric composition. No Colossus, no Archons, no Storm, not yet. No Disruptors. Just purely Stalkers and Zealots. As Migs is working towards Ghost, towards EMP. Zealot drop is ready here at the natural. 3rd base looking secure. The Observer does confirm. Does have eyes on the army. And ideally, Shameless doesn't want to commit until Migs moves out. Or he moves in with his main army to distract. Speaking of... Oh! He thinks about it. Prism goes into the natural. At the same time, main army does hit the 3rd. Observer gets spotted. Zealots are dropped in. Big reaction, big response. Migs does pull away. Hallucination spots the main army as well. And massive warping into the main. And Shameless, he goes for the tanks, gets both. Both tanks go down, massive pickup. And Vindicta, he was not ready for this. Oh, pick up. Oh, medevac goes down. Full medevac. Ay, ay, ay. And this might just be too much. And Shameless getting 11 SCVs. He's cleaned up in the main, though. Prism is going to recall back home. Makes down to 47 workers. He holds. Whew. Does hold. That was still a more valuable trade for Shameless. Behind this, expanding, taking a fourth. Once again, Prism moving out, going for the main. Just as Migs moves out as well. The army is spotted by the Zealots. Shameless getting ready. I do favor Vindicta's army in a head-on fight, but that Prism is going to be a problem. It's the main. This time, though, Vindicta, he's ready for it. Tank under fire. Up! Oh, it's saved. Hot pickup. Saves the tank. Cleans up the Zealots. And can Vindicta chase down that Prism? He can. Lib's not known for their anti-air, but they tickle the Prism. It's okay. They get some damage. Prism is zoned away. Zealot run by does avoid the main army. And we have the first Colossus. The first Colossus is in production. Just the one, though. I still favor Vindicta's army in a head-on fight. For now. How many ghosts? 3. 3 ghosts. 3 EMPs. Nation will confirm. Shameless stabilizing. Colossus has arrived. Migs moving out. Still runway being set up as well. Migs avoiding the main army, actually. But the pylon will spot him. Yeah, big pylon here from Shameless. Does spot, does confirm. And does Shameless go for the base trade? I mean, he knows where the army is. He is. He's going for the base trade. Let's go! Shameless, he avoids the main fight. Meanwhile, Robo's under fire. Colossus does spawn in. And it's all or nothing here for Shameless and Migs. Migs, he turns around. He's racing back home. Uh-oh. Migs gonna have to push up this ramp. Colossus is exposed. Migs stimming in. He wants a Colossus. He gets it. EMP does connect. And the Colossus barely goes down. Massive pickup. And no more Colossus. Tank sieging up as well. Zealots are coming in, though. And they're coming from behind. First tank does go down. Reinforcements on the way. Boys are being pulled. It's still so close, but it looks like Migs, he will clean this up. Vindicta, he shuts down the main army. Got on top of the Colossus, the Immortals. Loses some SCVs, but it's worth it. As he shuts everything down, cleans up the army entirely here. But Shameless, his economy, looking good. Has 5 bases. Vindicta needs to counterattack. Here and now, we have to go. We have to send it. Send it, man. Again, it takes seconds to move from one side of the map to the other. It's so small. Prism into the main. Massive warping of Zealots. This is going to get damage done. But at the same time, Vindicta, he will take down the third. And there's no Colossus. He sniped the Robo. Oh. Migs, he sniped the Robo. He sniped the Robo earlier. No Colossus, no Immortals. There's just one. Just the one. It survived earlier. We deny the warp in. Pylon goes down. Colossus is exposed. And one more volley. Oh, the overcharge, though. Shameless. He's holding onto his base. Barely. Barely does hold on. Zealot's taking down one of the tanks. And another as well. Both tanks going down. But here come the reinforcements. Here comes a rally from Vindicta. And Shameless is down to 1 Colossus, barely standing. Migs, he's not stopping. There are 2 bases that are going to be left untouched, but Migs is going for the kill. He's going for the production. The gateways, the Robos. Yeah, Vindicta snowballing out of control. Robo is going to go down, denying the Immortal. And the production is under fire. And Shameless has to push up a ramp into a tank. It's not gonna happen. Shameless does not have enough. And Migs, he's played purely TVPs today, only against Protoss. And he's doing it. Breaks into the main. Depowers the gateways. We have Shameless catching reinforcements. Trading well. Catching Marines and Marauders. Not bad, but back at home he has nothing. +2 is denied. Shameless pushing up the ramp. Boys are being pulled. Oh, it's Archons. Oh my god. A lot of SVs going down. But Mig should be okay. Chases down the final Archons. Gets one, gets two. Zealots are trickling in, but the Colossus goes down. Is it the Liberator? And Migs, he's racing back home. He's done the damage he was hoping for. The production in the main. The third base. The gateways are being rebuilt. Shameless has 2k in the bank. He has warp ins. Uh-oh. Shameless, he's not out of this. He can still warp in. The gateways are finishing up. There we go. Zealots are on the wave. Gonna be able to trade. Archon coming in from behind as well. But it's still just not enough Zealots. Not enough time. We need more warp ins. Shameless, he has money, but he can't spend it. 2,000 minerals cannot be spent. And Vindicta, he's breaking through. Again, it was a valiant effort here at a Shameless, both in game 1 and in game 2. Came so close, made it to the semifinals, made it into the money. GG gets called, and Vindicta will take the 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Vindicta will take it. We'll advance on to the grand finals. Don't forget to join the Matcherino. GG, well played. Congratulations, Vindicta. He will take it in the end. A very chaotic game. We had a pseudo base trade. Vindicta, he turned around, but he only turned around after he sniped the Robo, which did deny any additional Colossus production, anything else from any other high-tech units, I should say. Just purely gateways to reinforce. And even then, they were depowered as well. GG, well played. And with that, Vindicta is our first finalist. And the question becomes, who will join him in those grand finals? Who's going to join him? Let's find out.